Hey, let's talk about it, cause honestly we need to talk about social issues, just uplifting my people. Yeah, let's talk about it. Come join the conversation. A connection's what we're creating. Yeah.
Boom. Let's talk about it. Good morning. So anyways, what I wanted to talk about today is, I thought about this in the gym, is pressure. Sometimes, many of us, we sit back and we look at the landscape of things that's going on in our life. And a lot of times we feel undervalued. Like we feel like we're taken for granted. And a lot of times the reason why some of us feel that way is because we make things look easy. You see, we can be under a lot of stress and a lot of pressure. But for many of us that really have faith, I ain't talking about no sometime faith. I'm talking about faith. We could be going through some things and people don't know. Like you might say some stuff like I come on here sometimes and I tell you I'm going through some stuff, right? But a lot of times I don't expand on it because I acknowledge that I'm going through some stuff. But the way my faith is set up, I know it's only for a short amount of time. Or if it's for an extended time period, it's because I haven't learned what I'm supposed to learn. See, we often, use that frame, pressure makes diamonds, right? But many of us don't want to go through that pressure. And we live in a society now that people eyeball things, right? Like, I'm not a car person. I'm not a handyman. You know what I mean? And growing up with my grandfather, he knew how to do a lot of stuff. And I remember how through trial and error, we would be in a store or something and we'll come out and he'll just look at the car and he'll be like, oh, I need to get some air in my tire. Now, this is before we had all of the stuff that we have in the cars now to tell you the tire pressure, this, that, and other. I'm talking about we had a truck that sometimes you be driving and the keys fall off and they keep going. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about that time period, right? And he would come out and he would just eyeball the situation and he would assess it. Okay, I know I need about this much air in this tire, this much air in this tire. He just eyeballed it because that was, through trial and error. You know what I'm saying? Now, in today's society, we have all of the electronic systems in the cars, right? That will tell you that the car is, it needs more air in this tire, this, that, and the other, right? But there's still a segment of people that will come out. They got all of the stuff in the car. They'll come out and they'll look. And then they'll ask the next person, does my tire look flat to you? And then the next person look, no, I look good. Oh, okay. Then they get in the car and they drive. Now they didn't, getting out far or whatever. And they got a flat. Now, they had all of the tools inside of the car that all they had to do was push the button and see, okay, this right here is losing air. But they relied on somebody else. They put the trust in them eyeballing something, right? And the problem with that is that other person, they didn't care if the tire was flat. It's not their car. So they look, yeah, look good, this, that, and other, because it's not directly tied to them. And I'm saying all that to say this. So many times in life, people want what other people have, but they don't want what comes with it. You see, you can scroll through social media and you can see someone walking up to that mansion, getting in that Benz, walking into their establishment, but you don't understand the pressure that comes with that. You see, a lot of people always praying for more money, better job, and this, that, and the other. But what you really should be praying for is the patience for that new job and this, that, and the other, because with every level comes a new pressure. And we often refer back to the Bible verses, he don't put more on me than I can bear. But how do you know what you can bear? You don't know what you can bear until you have been broken. When you get in these PSI, they come up with that because they have to test and it has to bust. And that way they know, okay, this is 37 PSI. This is the amount of pressure. This is the threshold before we're going into that level to where it can bust. But many of us in life that are going through pressure, we don't want to go through that uncomfortable stage. But we'll look at somebody else, right? And that's why you know when you're anointed by God. You see, there's millions of singers out there. I'm talking about that can sing. But there's also singers that's anointed. There's singers that you can listen to and it just do something to your spirit. Then there's singers that sing and they just sound good. You see, some people are called to do it and some people can just do it. That's why you can't worry about the people that's mimicking you. This social media realm, everybody's making content. There's nothing new under the sun, right? Everybody is making content. But what's for you is for you. The calling that you have on your life, the anointing that has on your life, can't nobody get in your lane. And the problem is you're so busy worried about everybody else infringing on your lane, you're missing the point. There's people out there that say, if I had as much money as Jeff Bezos, well, guess what? You don't know the pressure that comes with that. And the level that you're on right now, you struggling with that pressure. You struggling with having to pay $3,000 back in taxes. But you want to be in a position that you got to pay $1.5 million back in taxes. It's how you handle the pressure. And I think that if we go into these situations understanding and knowing that in the Bible, every miracle is tied to some pressure. David went out there and he slayed Goliath. Can you imagine that type of pressure? Can you imagine that type of pressure? That you looking at this giant and you like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to do it. And all you got is a slingshot? Now look at your life today. You might be facing a Goliath in your life. And whatever that Goliath is, it can be different. It can be alcoholism. It can be staying too long in places that you know that you need to leave. That's your Goliath. And here you are standing there and all you got is a slingshot. So you're looking at it and all you got is a slingshot. But then there's a segment of people that look at that slingshot and they like, if God put this in my hand, it must be because I can slay this giant. If God puts you in a situation, you have to believe you can get out of that situation. The caveat to that is when you're in a situation that you put yourself into. You see, I talk to people all the time and they be telling me about they stress and this, that, and other. And at the end of that conversation, I always be looking like, that ain't stress. That's a you. You put yourself in that situation. And when you continuously keep doing the same thing, how you think you're going to get out the situation? How you think? Somebody will blame the devil. Man, the devil is really trying me. It ain't it's you. You be giving the devil too much credit. It's you. It's because of the decisions that you have made. You. People in your life have told you, don't mess with that man. Don't get with that chick. Bad news. Bad news. And you hear it and you like, yeah, okay. Now you in that situation. And 10 years later, he going upside your head. 10 years later, she's treating you like trash. 10 years later. And here you are thinking, man, the devil's really trying me. No. You have put yourself in that situation. So that ain't real life pressure. That's just bad decisions. You see, a lot of times we look at people and we think we want what they want. I'm going to say this, I'm going to get out your way, but Leandria is one of the best gospel singers to me. And people love to hear her sing. But then when she falls, people talk about her. Oh, she got an alcohol problem. Oh, she this, that, and other, blah, 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 blah. But guess what? When she sings, that pain in that voice that makes you sit back and you got tears rolling down your face, that's because of the pressure that she's under. See, you like the singing, but you don't like what that singing comes from. You see, there's a segment of people out there in my, personal life, in my family, whatever, that look at me and they think, man, he think he know everything. Man, he think he better than me. Man, he think this, that, and the other, right? I don't think I'm better than nobody. But for some stuff, I make it look easy. I make it look easy, right? But it's not easy. They don't understand waking up in the morning sometimes making these videos, and then I make these videos and I get off, and sometimes I have tears in my eyes because making these videos make me remember my grandparents. Even though I think about them every minute of the day. But it's hard. It's hard. You just see the finished product, but you don't see what I go through. You don't see those nights that I can't sleep. You don't see the phone calls that I get, right? And I'm pouring into everyone, and sometimes it's not reciprocated. See, you don't see none of that type of stuff, but you might see the benefits from it. If I told you right now, hey man, I just got a new vehicle, or, whatever the case may be, there'd be some people out there be like, man, look at him bragging. But you don't know what I went through to get it. You don't know what I went through to get that. When I look at my grandparents, when I look at my grandfather, I tried to pattern my life after him. But when I got older and I got more stable, I understood that I could never be like him because the things that he had to endure just might kill me. I have the blueprint, but I can't be him because walking a mile in his shoes might cause my leg to break. Doing what he did might not suit me. The things that he had to really go through might cause me to go crazy. So I can just pattern myself, but I can't be him. So anyways, man, I'm going to go ahead and get out your way or whatever, right? But to sum all of this up, pressure. Pressure makes diamonds. But many people don't want to go through becoming a diamond. They just want to wake up and just be a diamond. Pressure really shows you who you really are. If you get on the bench, right? If you're working out with me and you tell me that your max is 275, I'm going to tell you, okay, let's put on 315. The first thing you're going to say is 315. I only went up to 275 and I only got that twice. Yeah, but you did it by yourself. I'm here to help you. You don't know how much you can do with someone spotting you. So now we put on the 315 and you do 5. And you like, oh my God, I can't believe I can't, man. And I'm looking and like, I told you, you just needed a little bit of help. These videos that I make, it might just be a little bit of help. You're stronger than what you think you are. Sometimes you just need somebody to touch the bar. So anyways, man, I thank y'all, love y'all, be safe.